Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Baruchim Habaim. Delighted to welcome all of you here this Shabbat, those of you who are joining us in person, and those of you who are joining us on our other platforms. However you're joining us, we may not be together in this space, but we are surely together at this time, welcoming Shabbat. We're thrilled to welcome Micah Brandhandler with us. He came up from Chicago, really today from Lamont, to join us as our song leader this Shabbat. Those of you who've gone to camp may know him because Mike has been there for, do we know how many total summers, Micah?
This upcoming will be my 20th.
His 20th summer at camp. Some of our camp kids will be leading services joined by their friends. And we have other camp people here tonight that if you're interested in camp, we hope you'll talk to. We begin our service with a singing of Hinei Matov, how wonderful it is and how pleasant when people dwell together in peace. You'll find it on page 644.
Matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad Hine 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 matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
We continue welcoming Shabbat Lecha Dodi, page 138, or before you on the screen.
Rosh
As we continue in our service, the second evening service, the Shabbat, page 263.
Yisada Shmei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamani Vach Yosef Yamichma Chutei
B'chayecho Yom Echor U'chayecho Bet Yisrael Bagala U'bizman Kariv Ve'himeru Amen. Yeh Shmei Rabba Bevorach Le'olam u'larmei almaya Yitbarach
Yitbarach Yishabach Yibar Yishama V'naseh V'yitzadar Yitzadeh V'yitzadar Shemir Kurshav Richu Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tushvechata V'nechemata Ta'amim Abdi Alma Ve'himeru
Please be seated as we continue together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sh'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim, מסדר את הכוכבים במשברותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אתה, עמך אתה. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו, וחומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. באחוותך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. And responsively on page 269.
We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. That oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy thy yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha netar b'kodesh, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha netar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh felem, Nora tehilot oseh felem, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai thy 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 yai thy thy yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy thy yai thy 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 yai thy 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 yai thy 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 thy.
Thus it has been said, the Eternal redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Eternal One, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu omreinu v'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim.
Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם na sfatai tiftach na ufi agit techidatecha na Adonai na sfatai tiftach na ufi agit techidatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Chanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Hastei Avot B'Imaot B'Gula Livnei V'Nechem Leman Shemo B'Achava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Metim Atah Rav Lechoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Bal Givurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman Atzalecha Haygot Meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye Hametim אתה קדוש שמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as I continue on page 277. You set the seventh day apart for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had done. As we continue on page 278 as Eli leads the service.
May all of these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who find hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Now Yael continues on Zoom.
Be gracious, Adonai our God, to your people Israel, and may you receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed in Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, chamachazir shechinato letzion. For the God
on page 281.
Wait, I'm so confused. 281. Oh wait, I got it. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks for the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands. We offer praise.
For the desire in which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
For all things, O Servergian, let your name be forever praised and blessed.
O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name in goodness, you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha ul ha-ne'er lehado.
Okay.
Yay.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Neolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Neolam. Ki Hatahu Melech Adon Lechol hashalom, ki hatahu melech adon. Lechol hashalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim neolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai amvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. As we take a few moments of silent prayer.
Oseh Shalom B'imromav Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imeru Ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imeru Amen.
In the week to come, among those couples who will be observing their wedding anniversaries are Adam and Amanda Berg, Betsy and Gary Kearns, Lori and Bruce Kesselman, and Spencer and Michelle Peck. Our God and God of the generations before us, we thank you for our sacred heritage of marriage and family life. Throughout history, marriage has been the firm foundation to our people when we were driven from place to place and when we were at rest and settled. We praise you, Eternal One, for sanctifying your people Israel by the covenant of marriage. We thank you for the fullness of joy of those who are celebrating the anniversary of their wedding in this season. Their lives are blessed with the gift of loving comradeship and a devotion to each other. Their joys are heightened, their difficulties lightened as they face life together. May their companionship continue to bring them strength. May their home be hallowed by your divine guidance. May their lives continue to be enriched by affection and mutual respect. May they be blessed with peace and contentment, health and happiness, As together we all say, Amen. The week to come, we continue on page 371, page 371. Yishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sar Rivcha Rachel v'Leah v'Yivarech et Cholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those of our friends who are ill. Mark Ackerman, Allison, Arthur, Joel Barwick, Esther Bat Baracha v'Daniel, Vivian Borkin, Joel Bradley, Martha Bretcher, Menachem Ben Peril, Diane Clark, Kathleen Duplier, Louis Ferris, Robert Fono, Susie Fono, Robert Fono. I'm sorry. Greg Garcia, Leah Bat Chaiki Mordechai, Michael Greenfield, Gevura Bat Gidl Finchas Baruch, Chloe Halperin, Rosalind Halperin, Sam Hanna, Catherine Hartnett, Edith Howard, Fred Howard, Carrie Huxley, Jimmy Kaplan, Mara Kniaz, Rachel Kniaz, Ed Knox, Barbara Lieb, Kathy Liddell, Mitch Marks, Wendy Mayer, Yosef Raphael Ben Yehudit, Zavi Ram, Robert Gold-Kravit, Ellen Levin, Lenore Levin, Artie Majeski, Patra Michette, Sydney Miracle, Lippman Pinchas Ben Liba Umendel, Jasmine Sandler, Ken Sandler, Tony Cortana, Floyd Schwade, Ruth Bat Irene Avraham, Gary Shovers, Claudia Steele, Marty Stein, Susie Gigi Stein, Jenny Forgettis, Leo Weinshell, Haraf Chaim Ben Rachel Leo Tzviya Kohen, Nadiva Zayat Bat Ilanu Vinyamin Bear, Shoshana Bat Harav Ari Shoshana. And to those names we add, if you have a name to add, if you'll raise your hand. Joe Levinson. I'll get it right this time. Joe Leviton. Cliff Anseer. Eli. Sandra Winnick. Phoebe Jones. Natalie Mushin. And to those names, we add for those of you on Zoom, if you'll raise your hand visually or virtually, and I'll call on you. Yeah, Sherry?
Devorah Bat Shmuel V'chaya.
Devorah Bat Shmuel V'chaya.
Eliza Ansier.
Eliza Anseer, because we are praying on their behalf. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored, their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of spirit and of body. May God grant wisdom and insight to those who bring healing. And may God grant courage and comfort to those whose struggles continue. As together we all say, Amen. Amen.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha liavoteinu. Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirits, and let us say Amen.
So at this point, I was going to introduce Beth Roden. And I don't know if Beth or you, Micah, have spent more years at camp. Beth, how many years? Beth is not with us, unfortunately, in person. She is with us on Zoom. So, Beth, how many years have you spent at camp altogether now?
Oh, altogether, I think I'm up over 30.
Well,
So together, Micah and I have about half a century up at camp.
which is even more than I have. So, but we are thrilled that you're able to join us. Beth is Associate Director of Olin Sang Ruby Union Institute. And so she was going to talk and do a little Devar Torah, but because she didn't come, and this was a day that we weren't able to plan as well as I had hoped. So Beth, whatever you've got, and I know we've got to share a video, and I've got a little Devar Torah if you don't, so I'm looking to you first for guidance.
Wonderful. Well, I do want to share a quick word of Torah, and Rabbi Bergson, I think there's never, it's always good to share as much as we can. But as I was thinking today about what I might want to share with everyone, I was looking at the Torah portion that we read this week by Yishlach, and it's a story all about families. We read about Jacob and Esau, and we read about Isaac and Rachel, parents, spouses, and there's a lot of family dynamics happening. But there's this part right in the middle that talks about a place, and I think that it's such a great moment. So it's this epic scene where Jacob has fallen asleep, and he, in his sleep, is wrestling with someone and this whole night going through this experience, and he wakes up afterwards and he emerges a better person, a more enlightened person, a person who's changed forever. And when we think about that, we talk about like this idea that he's changed forever, but he gives that place a special name. He names it Pniel, the place where he was facing God. And so in this parsha that's all about families, we have a moment to think about a special place that has a great impact on us. And for me, I want to tell you about that place for me, and that's Osrui, the Reformed Jewish Summer Camp in Oconomowoc, about 45 minutes down Capitol Drive and then across Highway 16. But that's the place for me that I've gone to, and I feel like I've emerged a better person. It's where I learned how to speak Hebrew, horseback ride. It's where I learned to lead services, much like Yael and Gabriel and Eli and Eitan today, and Micah, of course, as well. And it's where I got to practice being a good friend and learning how to be part of a community. And there's lots of great things that can happen in this Pniel, in this place where you can find God and you can have this special experience of growing and becoming an even better version of yourself. So I'd love to show this quick video that talks a little bit about all of the ways that you can grow and you can emerge as a better self after spending time at Osrui. So I'm going to hand it off to whoever is going to play that video.
Campers are really given the opportunity here to grow individually and build everyday skills.
Camp is such a great place because of the environment that exists here. Being a camper and a counselor and a staff member at Osrui, you learn a lot about how to be a leader, about how to be someone who takes charge, about someone who can multitask.
I think an amazing part about camp is that all of these kids together in sometimes structured and sometimes unstructured scenes. Being at a place like sports, kids are learning how to be leaders and start games with other kids. They're learning how to work well with other people.
We say something as simple as you make friends at camp and you make lifelong relationships, but what does that really mean? Learning how to actually socialize with different people, and it's learning how to handle conflict.
At camp, you're living with a whole group of people together, all for like either 4 weeks or 7 or 2 weeks. And when you're living together with people for that long, you learn to see things from their perspective. And so you can develop empathy that way.
Campers aren't using their phones here. They're really unplugged.
I think unplugging at camp is an amazing thing, personally. I like the face-to-face interaction, being able to see my friends, whereas here you can walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Let's go hang out.
One of the really special parts about camp is that you are in a supportive environment with your peers.
Every day, the campers are required to work together in different groups, and I think it's a really great time to build that collaborative environment. A lot of the times, it's doing services, something like planning an activity for other kids, and I love watching kids chime in with different ideas.
Well, post-camp, I tend to be more outgoing and more confident in what I'm doing. In class, I'll speak up more.
A lot of people are great, and sometimes we just need some help to be great, and we really get that with the community here at camp.
So as you can see, this place is a place where people come in as they are. We celebrate everybody as they are, and we know that you're going to leave a little bit better and having learned a little bit more and having developed a little bit more of yourself. So I am excited that there are many people in the room right now in the sanctuary who are going to be with us this summer. I see a few of you on the Zoom screens right now that are going to be with us this summer. And I invite you to ask people who have been to camp before, what is it that you learned to do and to become a better place, to emerge a better version of yourself after coming to this really, really special place? So those of you that are in the room right now, be sure you check in with Micah before you leave. He's got some gifts for you to take home and to play with, to think about camp. Yael and Noah will make sure you guys get some next time you're in the building. And I hope to see you all come through a Kana walk at some point. Thanks so much for spending Shabbat with us.
Eloquently that I ever could. I just want to mention there are other people you can talk to about camp here too. That Eli's mom, Laura, and Jean Lauterbach are here, and they've been nurses at camp. And Eli's sisters are here, and Dad is here. They spent some time at camp. And Eitan, if I count right, your sisters are here, right? And your mom. And so you're kind of like a third generation camper, right? So you can talk to your sisters and your mom too, right? And other people with camp connections. And I spent a few years at camp too. Yeah, well, Gabriel, we know about you, but we want people to talk to you too. So after services, when the Strauss-Levins lead us in Benchlicht and Kiddush and Motzi, and after you've gotten all the camp swag, and even if you don't go to camp, you're welcome to take some camp swag home with you. We have stuff from years ago, and thanks to Micah, as Beth pointed out, we have the new stuff, this year's stuff, so we hope you'll take it. We hope we can answer any questions. And again, those of you who are concerned about financial assistance, the congregation has been very generous. We want any kid who wants to go to camp to be able to go. So please let me know, and we'll make sure that it is possible. With that, we will continue with Aleinu. You'll find it on page 586, as together we rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekru l'yotze breshit, shelo asanu gugei aratzot, v'lo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo samt chalkeinu kachem, v'goraleinu kechol amonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal will reign forever and ever.
נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. As we take a few moments to read silently any one of the meditations you can find between pages 592 and 597, or whatever other words may be on your hearts. As the names of your dear ones are mentioned, we invite you to rise in their loving memory as we remember the relatives and friends of our congregation who have gone before us into life eternal. We remember tonight the names of Barbara Lupu, Eileen Lux, Doran Danny Gendelman, Helga Levings, and Susan Fono, and Susie Fono, who were laid to rest recently. We also remember the name of Sharon Keller, who was also laid to rest recently. We remember also the names of David Alschwang, Elizabeth Klein Altschul, Saul B. Arbit, Rose Ashley, Manford C. Baer, Helen M. Berkwich, Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Bornstein, Ernest W. Chiger, Gertrude E. Eckstein, Paul Robert Fine, Morris Friedlander, Shirley Glick, Morris Goldberg, Sophia Fine-Goodsit, Samuel Granoff, Carl Greenfield, Robert Jerome Grossman, Linda K. Hay, Eugene C. Heifetz, Burton Heiken, Nancy Hinden, Louis H. Kahn, Leah Knight, Albert Kreilsheimer, Rachby L. Kuhlman, Sylvia Steckler-Levin, Neil Lewinsky, George Lipton, Sylvia Luber, Emmy Mann, Leo Mann, Robert Louis Murko, Morris Meyer, Ethel Myers, Philip Miller, Dorothy Herzog-Napsky, Celia Pump, Peter Pumpian, Morris Resnick, Herbert Rosenthal, Kay Rosenthal, Carol Schnoll, Hod David Judson, Robert Meyer Steinman, Rosalia Steindler, Edward I. Stillman, Elaine Ruth Treisman, Jack Yale Waxman, Matilda Wiviet, Edith Zuckerman, and Lena Zuckert, whose anniversary of death is remembered tonight. If the others here in mourning are observing Yahrzeit, I ask you to rise and mention the name of your loved one too. Natalie Mushin. And for those of you on Zoom, if again you'll raise your hand virtually or visually if you have a name to mention too. We also remember those who perished in the Shoah who have no Yahrzeit dates. We pray. May their souls be bound up in the bond of eternal life. May their repose be peace. Zichronam livracha. May their memories forever be a blessing. As we ask the congregation to join with those who mourn in the words of Kaddish, page 598. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabbah. Bialma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agalal v'zman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmedi dekudsha brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru, amen. Ye'esh lama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens above send peace down here to us. To all Israel and to all the world, as together we all say, amen. Amen. You may be seated. He doesn't know this yet, but Ben, you're our one officer I can see right now who's here. But then Cheryl is here too as a member of a board. Would you like to offer any of the announcements tonight? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. While he's coming up, the one announcement I can mention that's not in the service bulletin, I think it just came out today, is our brotherhood is having a Hanukkah, I want to get this right, because I just saw it at the last minute. They're passing out free Hanukkah stuff, goodies to eat. What is it, Jean? Bakery box. A Hanukkah bakery box, which is going to be a week from Friday. Jim, your father says that is, so it's got to be because he's the father of Ben. So, okay. So you'll find this in the email. This is very wonderful of brotherhood, and it's, all you have to do is come by and pick it up. It's going to be a week from today or 2 weeks from today. It's got to be 2 weeks from today, right? 6th day of Hanukkah. Okay. The rest is yours.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
First of all, thanks very much to Micah for the beautiful service tonight, and to Beth for the words about the special place. We also want to thank Amanda and thank Cheryl for greeting tonight. I do want to mention that funds that are dropped in our tzedakah box tonight or this month are going to ADOT, the Midwest Regional Jewish Diversity and Racial Justice Collaborative. Hanukkah is coming up. So Romamu invites you to its celebration in preparation for Hanukkah on Sunday, November 28th. That's just a week from Sunday. Here from 3:30 to 4:45 outside. Dress appropriately. I want to mention too, the library book club meets next Tuesday on Zoom at 1 o'clock. Carol Fishman and Sherry Melman will lead a discussion of Into the Magic Shop by James Doty. Our Anshe Mitzvah class resumes again in December. We're having our annual holiday gift drive to benefit a number of groups: Project Stay, Meta House, the Cathedral Center, the Guest House, Pathfinders, Nia Imani, and Aurora Walker's Point Community Clinic. The drive will take place starting a week from Monday, November 29th through December 20th. Bring in new toys and games, and the bin will be available in our coat room. And there are many more announcements in the bulletin tonight, so... Oh, it was last Tuesday.
But there is one in December, too. Oh, I think it's the right book, just the wrong date.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Gene.
Thank you. Thank you. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, and we hope you'll join all the Strauss-Levins in Surlow Hall for the lighting for Ben Schlicht and Kiddush and Motzi. Our closing song is Od Yavo Shalom, Salam. You'll find it page 657. Please rise and remain standing for the benediction.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojevo Shalom Aleinu, Ojevo Shalom Aleinu, Ojevo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitain. May the Eternal One grant us all strength. Adonai Yivarech et amo v'shalom. May the Eternal One bless us all always with the most precious gift of all, the gift of shalom, of peace. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos. We'll see you in Surla Hall. Don't forget to pick up your Economowalk swag as you leave.
Yeah. DJ piano. Oh. I like the upbeat of the other guitar. Mm-hmm. Thank you for this.
So it sounded like you came from a ways out. So it's more like you're the special guest. Yes. Very much so.
I didn't check him. Shabbat Shalom, we invite you to come a little closer if you like. Shabbat Shalom.
We mark the beginning of this sacred time. Shabbat, the day of rest. We pause and remind ourselves of the beauty of this world, of the loves that embrace us, of the blessings that fill us.
Ya la 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 la, 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 la la la. Ruhata Adonai, Inu Melech Haolam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, b'mitzvotav. Mitzivanu, mitzivanu, lahar likneh. Mitzivanu, mitzivanu, lahar likneh. Mitzivanu, mitzivanu, lahar likneh. Shel Shabbat.
May we be blessed with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May we be blessed with Shabbat peace.
Amen.
May we be blessed with Shabbat life.
Amen. In just a moment, I'm going to ask Ben, and since Kevin Berkowitz is here, he doesn't mind leading us in Kiddush in the Hebrew. And I'm going to, tomorrow you don't know this, but I'm going to ask you if you'll pass this around. The dark is wine, the light is grape juice. Whatever you or your parents say is appropriate.
The dark is that's dying, the white is. Don't give that to your mom. Don't give it back.
Yeah, yeah. It's an old one. You know what? But you can see how it goes. We all have some form of fruit of the vine. First Ben and then Camper Berkowitz.
6 days you will work and achieve, but the seventh day is dedicated to the eternal one your God. With the fruit of the vine, our sweet symbol of joy, we celebrate this sacred day. We give thanks for life and its blessing, for work and for rest, for the opportunity to gain and the privilege to give, for home and friendship and love.
ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Sabri! Think better than that, Sabri. Sabri.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Orei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav ratzavanu, v'shavat kodsho v'yavav ratzon inilanu, zikaron le'maseh berei. Kihu yom tehilah le'nikra'ei kodesh, ze'er l'tziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'charta, yatanu kivashta, yikohanim, yishmar kosherta, ya'avol ratzon, inratanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Can I get someone willing to pass out some coffee to people? Good, thank you. Now I'm going to ask our camp kids, who are all here, whatever your age may be, if all of you will read us in Motzi, which means by us, all I have to do is start, come on this side of the table, start with a long ba, and we're all going to join, okay? Just come over to the side, Gabriel. Hi. Where's Eli? All right. Do any siblings want to come join us here to lead Motzi too?
What does the sheep say?
So guys, whatever you want to start us out.
Who are the original ones the sheep said?
Just the play. Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'amon. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Dad?
Come on, okay.